The next topic we're going to talk about is making sure that your words are in the correct place in your sentence. So a sentence that is confusing is something like this. According to the following criteria, 2 different sgRNAs were designed. Close location to the mutations, following PAM at the 3' end, and 20 nucleotide length. So when I read that sentence, I'm confused because it says 2 different sgRNAs were designed, and then they have a list of 3. And so eventually I figured out that this list of 3 were the following criteria that they were referring to. It was not the 2 sgRNAs that is in the sentence. So what would make the sentence more clear is if they just switched the order of the phrases and wrote it this way. 2 different sgRNAs were designed according to the following criteria. Close location to the mutation, following PAM at the 3' end, and 20 nucleotide in length. So instead of criteria being separated from the criteria with an interrupting phrase that has another number, we put the list of criteria right next to the word criteria. Also think about where you put the words in a sentence because the order of the phrases can determine the emphasis. So for example, if you have these 2 sentences, site-specific targeting of nucleases such as zinc finger nucleases, TALENs, and the CRISPR-Cas9 system now allow genome editing in a wide variety of cultured cells as well as whole organisms. So in that sentence, the emphasis is on site-specific targeting of nucleases. And the sentences that follow that should probably refer to site-specific targeting of nucleases. Now, however, if you write the same sentence in a different order and it says genome editing is now possible in a wide variety of cultured cells and whole organisms based on site-specific targeting of nucleases such as zinc finger nucleases, TALENs, and CRISPR-Cas9 system, then the emphasis is on genome editing is now possible. So which one do you want the readers to take away as the key message? Do you want them to think that the key message is site-specific targeting of nucleases, which is talking about specific technology, or do you want the readers to take away that genome editing is now possible, which is more of a big picture point of view in which you go and detail the reasons why genome editing is now possible. So I'm not saying either one of these is more correct than the other one. It really depends on the context. The point is to think about how you structure your sentence to emphasize which is more important. And this is something that we talked about in the previous lesson when we talked about the power positions within sentences. Also, when you are editing, it's really important to go back and edit with an eye for detail because you're going to find sometimes that as you're typing and revising, you'll accidentally have an extra word included in the sentence, or maybe you accidentally deleted a word that is supposed to be there. And I've been in that situation before where I was missing a word in a sentence and it completely changed the meaning of the entire paragraph. And I sent that manuscript to my co-authors and it caused a lot of confusion because that one word was missing. And when I got back the comments, they'd spent a long time making a lot of comments and explaining them, when in reality none of that was necessary because I was just simply missing a word in my sentence. So watch out for those. Here are some examples of extra or missing words. The sampling design allowed us to construct of a source population from which samples were randomly taken. So the word of is extra there. So it should say construct a source population, not construct of a source population. The second sentence originally said monthly sampling was undertaken, collected during early hours of the day in triplicate in acid wash dried polyethylene bottles. So there's 2 words there, undertaken and collected. And I think one of them is extra. So you should say monthly sampling was undertaken during the early hours, or monthly samples were collected during early hours. This is probably just a situation where the authors were editing this sentence and they accidentally left an extra word in it.